podcast where we put you on the map. This is Ron Costa broadcasting live from the Mappable USA studios here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And folks, today we're going to talk about two keywords, basically: impact, earn. So before we do that, let's introduce Vicky Hutchmala from the World Token Market. Vicky, how are you doing today?
I'm fabulous, Ron. I'm fabulous. Although I must say, when we live in Vegas and the temperature goes into the 40s, we kind of panic and rush out and buy mittens and hats and scarves and coats and don't know how to handle it. But that's okay, because today we've got one excellent guest. We've had Eric on our podcast before, but we're going to find out how he's grown and expanded and become even better than he was. So let's get started.
Exactly. Let's get started. Let's introduce Eric Schaffner. Eric is the CEO of Zeloop. And Eric, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. We're also facing a bit of cold, probably even colder. You spoke in Fahrenheit, so 40 doesn't ring a bell for me, but here is -2. And it was quite funny because media start to speak. I'm based in France at the moment, and they will say, oh, the winter, it's very cold and so on, but it's very normal. It looks like with the global warming, people forget that winter is cold. And it used to be colder than that. In my area, we can normally. I used to witness -15. I don't know how it translates in Fahrenheit, but so -2 is nothing for this time of the year, and people tend to forget. And media are just making a big story. Say, "Oh my God, it's cold."
Well, when it goes down to 29 in Vegas, then I don't know what you call that, but cold. It's not normal.
Well, there's no such thing as global warming in the winter, it seems. That's for sure. But Eric, where are you calling in from? I know you're overseas.
Yeah. I'm calling from east of France at the moment. Strasbourg.
Okay.
Oh, France.
It's on the German border, basically.
Oh.
See that? It's nice to take podcasting worldwide. We're a global podcast right now, Eric. Thanks to you. And like Vicky said, we've had you on the show before. It was a really great podcast. Let's talk to our viewers about your background again, in case they missed the last one. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into Zeloop.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I come from the packaging industry. I worked for many years in a company that supply packaging lines for beverage in bottles, in plastic bottles, or in cans, or in glass. And then I did a big change from corporate life to the entrepreneurial life a couple of years ago, after I invested in a startup that has developed a blockchain reward engine that was initially designed to support a social impact project. And then in my industry, I could see the growing concern about of plastic pollution that is linked to more human pollution. Plastic has no foot to walk, but that is the thing. We are using a lot plastic, and we also unfortunately dispose it of not properly. It ends up in nature and so on, and we start to have an issue on that. And so we had the idea to use that reward engine to adapt that for environmental impact. And that's how Zeloop was born, basically, with the vision that we can be part of the solution. We're not going to fix everything, but we want to be part of that solution. And the problem is so large, and not only plastic. Littering is a human disease, and it's worldwide. And we can just sit down and do nothing, or we can start to think about what we can do as individual, what we can do as companies. And so we thought that it was a great idea to put our energy on it and grow on that.
And you have a different spin on recycling of plastics and litter that rewards people for picking up trash. Explain that to us, how that works and what that involves.
Yeah. So we have our reward engine has been designed to serve as a platform and to demonstrate the capability. We have developed our own app with the same name, Zeloop. And in the app, people can either bring plastic bottles that they have picked up from the wild, from nature, unfortunately, from their neighbors, from their friends, or from their own consumption, and they deposit that at a point of collection that are crowdsourced, mapped by the community. So any existing infrastructure, we don't collect by ourselves in that case. And then they can also, they may be in areas where there is no plastic bottles, or in areas there is no infrastructure to deposit plastic bottles. But unfortunately, wherever you go, there is litter, so there's always a possibility to act for the planet. So it's just simple using the app. You select a duration, 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. Go for a walk, put your phone in, start the session, put your phone in your pocket, and start to collect trash. Any trash that not only plastic bottles, because any trash that can be extracted from nature is a good gesture. So it's valid. So you pick up any trash. At the end of the session, just take a picture of the trash to validate the session, and then we reward people on the steps that they have performed during the session, because it's the easier way to calculate or to count. Bottles, we can count the bottles. Steps are a nice common unit when you collect trash.
And so how does it work? So can I go on a walk here in Vegas, pick up some trash that I see when I'm walking, take a photo of it, and then I can redeem rewards for that, even though I'm in Vegas and you're in France?
Absolutely. So when you have downloaded the app, automatically our reward engine has created a blockchain wallet. So you don't need to be tech savvy about how it works, about blockchain and so on. The wallet is automatically created. All you have to do is to start a session. So you go on the map, you say, okay, start a plugging session. You select the duration, and off you go. You just have to collect. And at the end of the session, you are asked to take a picture of the trash that you have collected. We're not going to check, to count whether there's 2 cigarette butts or 1 plastic wrap or a paper wrap or a plastic bottle and so on. It's just we see trash in a bag that shows that you have collected, and then we validate the session. And then automatically we calculate, we have recorded the number of steps that you have performed, and then you get 0.5 eco rewards per step. And those eco rewards, the utility token of the ecosystem, are credited to your wallet. And then after you can use those eco rewards either by trading them. Last time we talked, it was not ready yet, but now you can send your eco rewards from the wallet in the app to your private wallet, and then after you can trade it against US dollar digital. Or we have some vendors that give even greater benefits as a purchasing power. They give discount vouchers on their product.
Oh. So how do you determine if I take the photo, I've collected whatever I've collected and taken a photo, put it on the app and that, how do you determine how many rewards I get and what are the value of those rewards?
So very simple. For bottles, on the bottle flow, we give 100 eco rewards per bottle, and you take a picture of the bottles. So if you have 5 bottles, you take a picture, you declare that is 5 bottles, and we we check with machine learning that you have 5 bottles indeed on the picture, and then automatically you get 500 eco rewards. You can also declare a bulk deposit. Like say you have a big bag with full of bottles, and then you use the I feel lucky function. There is a manual visual control, and then we make an estimate. So it can be a bit more than what it really is, or lower, but we estimate, and it's why you may be lucky or less lucky. And for the plugging, we record. It's why you register to a session. We record the starting point of the session. You walk, so your phone, all the phones nowadays, smartphones will record your steps, so we just have access to your health data of the phone after obviously that the user has a proof for it. And then at the end of the session, we know how many steps you have done.
Oh, okay, that sounds easy.
Yeah, well, it's super easy.
It sounds easy, but I have a couple of questions on that. One is, when you take the picture of the bottles or whatever it is you're going to do, that picture has to be verified somehow, right? It doesn't. Yeah. Is there some kind of a matching process there that goes on at I don't know, at corporate level, or some kind of thing that just verifies the fact that who does
Absolutely.
That?
It goes to our database, and then there's different cases. We have machine learning, and we have manual checking. Because sometimes the picture will be rejected or is not clear enough, and then we need the human being to check.
Right. It's amazing what technology can do on this. I know with AI and everything else that's going on, the ability for these computers to just verify images and everything is really, really fantastic. I know there's a lot of that going on in the wine and the beer industry as well, where they kind of scan the label and they know exactly what it is. So I guess it's the same kind of thing. But another question I had was regarding the wallet that you mentioned before. I mean, there are tons of wallets out there, right? At this point, do you need a specific one, or does Zeloop have their own wallet?
It's created. We have our own wallet, our own blockchain wallet. It's automatically. It's really the core technology that we have developed. We wanted to make it very easy for people. We talk about blockchain, we talk about Web3, but if you look at many projects and so on, the adoption is difficult because you have too many frictions. You have to get a code, you have to forget things, you don't know where to talk to when you have a problem, and so on. Here, you just download the app, the wallet is created. That's it. You don't don't see that is a blockchain wallet and so on. It's the reality behind, as it's a fourth layer behind the app. You have the backend, and that backend is connected to the wallet that has been created. And every time that we validate the transaction, whether it's earning eco rewards or redeeming eco rewards or selling eco rewards, the reward engine takes care of that transaction. The only specific case where the user will need to create his own wallet, his or her, is when you want to trade those eco rewards. In that case, you have to send the eco rewards that are in your wallet in the app, and we basically have the custody of that wallet. You have access and control of that wallet, but we host that wallet. It's on the blockchain and so on, but we have control of that access. You can't just tweak it and so on. And as long as you use the eco rewards within the app, you don't really need to have more access than that. But if you want to own the token in your private wallet, then obviously you need then to be a bit more tech savvy, at least to know what is a wallet. But then you do a wallet in MetaMask, for instance, and then you connect. You create you just have to share your public address from your MetaMask in the app, and then we send the token to your private wallet, and then from there you trade it.
Right.
On the exchange where we are listed.
That's one of the issues that I'm seeing in this whole blockchain industry. I think people are very confused about what their wallet is or what it can do, how secure it is, how hackable it may be. And I think that gives people a little bit of pause on this. But it sounds like when you build it right into the app like that, it's pretty easy to use. So I guess that's a big selling point for you guys, right?
Yeah, and we do. I mean, blockchain can attract some people, and we're happy to get those young profile and so on that already use blockchain wallets and cryptos and so on. And if they're attracted by that proposed value proposition and start to do good for the planet, we're happy to have them joining the movement. But we also know that probably is about 10% of the people using the app. The other 90% are I don't know yet. They have heard maybe about blockchain, or at least they have heard about Bitcoin, but it can be scary and so on. And it's not what we do. We are not. It's not a Bitcoin. It's a utility token. So for those who are not knowledgeable, they don't need that, to understand that it's blockchain. They just see that they have a point, and that point has a value that they can redeem and so on. So we can. It fits for all. For us, what is important is that we make an impact with the community.
And again, with the wallet too, if you download the app, that could be done anywhere in the world, right? It could be done in the United States, Argentina, wherever, right? But can you trade those tokens anywhere in the world as well? Or do you have to be at a certain location?
No, you can trade everywhere. The token is listed on several exchange to centralize Topkai and XT.com, and then we have also a liquidity pool on PancakeSwap, so that and it's decentralized, so you can access from anywhere in the world. This is why also we have that dual system where the wallet in the app and the private wallet, because there may be some regulation that in specific regulation in some countries that we can't control. With a worldwide app, we can't check the 180 countries, or I don't know how many countries we have, but we can't check the regulation, and it will change all the time and so on. But as an example, China has a regulation that forbid people to own blockchain wallets, and I think the Chinese wallets are those who own the most largest amount of wallet in the world, something like that, or owning bitcoins and so on. So can be a gap, but as a company, obviously we can't breach any regulation. But that way we are not, because within the app it's a use as a point system, and it's only when the individual wants to send it to its private wallet, but then it's the responsibility of the individual to make sure that is compliant with his local regulation.
Yeah, and you mentioned before that you put this on an exchange platform or whatever. What was the process for doing that? How easy or difficult is that?
Well, that becomes for is the traditional way of trading or exchanging. So you need a bit to know a bit more. First, you have to create an account within those exchanges. So let's say if you are XT.com, you have to create an account, which is not very complicated, I would say, but it depends, of the level of experience that someone has with computer, with web, with exchange, and so on. But you create your account, you log in, and then after on your account you will have a public address, and then it's a matter again of linking your MetaMask to that public address, so you can. It will be in two steps. You get the tokens from the app to your private wallet, MetaMask or similar multi-currency wallet. And then from your MetaMask to the exchange, you can send the token. And after, in the exchange, you have different pairs you can exchange Ethereum against dollar against Bitcoin, and so on. And in the case of the Eco Reward, there is a pair between the Eco Rewards and the US dollar digital, the USDT.
Yes, yeah. Well, we do a number of podcasts on guys who are doing crowdfunding raises and things like that, and a lot of it, when you make a investment, let's say, into something, you have to pretty much wait until the syndicator or the manager decides it's time to sell. Or, there's really not a whole lot of liquidity in a lot of these projects. But it sounds like what you're doing is you can do trades, right? You can. It's pretty easy to do that, right? There's no such thing as, let's say, dead money in this project of yours.
Yeah. I think we still are on the early stage, and most of Zeloopian we see are still stacking their tokens. Because they wait for an offer that match their appetite. Let's say you are in US. We don't have many vendors. We don't have US vendors that are in the marketplace, but we have some vendors that ship worldwide. Like we have a very cool sneaker that is made out of a plastic bag and plastic bottles, so it's still connected, and they ship to US, and they offer a $5 discount or a $10 discount, and that is for just a few bottles. So basically, they give a purchasing power of $0.50 per bottle. So very easy. So, but you may say, well, Ron, I don't need a sneaker, so I will not spend on that. So of course, fair enough. But then you have the token. The token at the moment are not very high price and so on, because we haven't done marketing on the token and so on. It's more organic. We want really to go to the principle of utility token, the early definition that many projects has forgotten, and it speaks by itself. It's a utility token, and we want to have a utility. Many projects on tokens have no utility, and they are just speculative. So you do a nice buzz with marketing, blah, blah, blah. People put their money on, and obviously some people will make money, but it's a balance. So if there's a few people making money, you will have many people losing money eventually, unless you find a way to keep the hype long enough so that it stretches until people realize that there's no utility. So for us, we leverage the blockchain, we leverage the tokenization and so on, but we focus on giving a utility. If there is a bit of speculation, it's still, not speculation, but appetite for holding tokens, acquiring token is good, because it creates value that will be redistributed to all the stakeholders, to all those people who have collected the plastic and made impact and collecting trash. That is the utility. If they can have an increased purchasing power and so on, thanks to that, great. And maybe in dollar value, a bottle, today is $0.502 an Eco Rewards. We give 100 Eco Rewards per bottle, so it's $0.002 per bottle. It's not much. But if you think about it, you are in a place like the middle of Mongolia, where purchasing power is very low. You collect 1,000 bottles, you can have a meal. So it has already a utility. It all depends where you are. For me, as French, if I try to count of the value of the Eco Rewards to go to the movie, I need to collect a lot of bottles as of today. So it's better for me to stack those tokens and wait that they have more value when the community grows, because it grows thanks to Zeloop, but also we do white labels. So we make apps similar to Zeloop, willing to reward an eco-friendly gestures, And in that case, we will provide the reward engine directly embedded in that application. So we have then more application using the ecosystem, participated to the ecosystem.
Oh.
All right.
Okay,
Well, I know you guys have that app downloadable at your website, Zeloop.net. Is that right?
Well, on the stores, on the Apple and Google Store, just Zeloop. Okay. From our website, obviously, you have a link to the store. But if you type Zeloop, Zeloop, you will find that on Apple Store or on Google Play Store.
Right. And you also have a pretty interesting site too. Your Impact and Earn website also is very interesting. I know that you have a lot of content up there. Tell us a little bit about that. Who's writing your stuff? That's really interesting.
So we work with someone in our team that is curating articles and so on. We have our traditional newsletter on Zeloop, talking about what we do in Zeloop and giving also some insight in different elements. But we wanted to go further on that. After all, using Zeloop is to impact, doing good for the planet, but also to do good for your own wealth, your own wallet, and so on. So it's about impact and earning. So we thought, okay, let's have a dedicated newsletter where we will curate articles about impact. How can I do a better impact? What is happening on that field, and so on. And finding also some articles or writing articles about how to earn, how to improve purchasing power, finding some discount there and there, trying to interest our community, give them back further information, educate them, and so on. And it's also a way for us to support us, because when people share that newsletter and so on, if you have new subscribers, we can have a bit of monetization from the platform that we are using, that hosting the newsletter. And the whole system of Zeloop is free to download, is free to win, and so on. But we also need to earn ourselves. So not from the app, but then we do that from the community. It's passive income, I would say. The user don't have to. It's a free newsletter and so on. But if there is subscribe to other newsletter and so on, then it helps us to grow, to do further and so on. So it's also important for us, obviously.
And I also noticed that I know you partner up with philanthro investors. Is there a better partner out there than Ivan Ants? Boy, is that guy incredible or what?
Yeah,
I love Ivan.
We met. I think we connected through LinkedIn a couple of years ago, and I explained what we were starting to do, and say, hey, with philanthro investors, we are looking at innovative companies that are on different verticals, and you are on the environmental vertical, and we like what you do, and then we decided to work together. So they help us to find investors. The time is not always easy, but they also help us to find some business opportunities. They connected us with the representative that we have in Argentina. The person that represents Zeloop in Nigeria is a philanthro investor ambassador that discovered about Zeloop and contacted me and said, hey, I would like to promote Zeloop in my country, and we are setting up a new business model specifically for Nigeria, but that can be replicated in other developing countries, where basically we leverage the app to provide a service for recyclers. In those countries, often what happens is you have recyclers that needs to collect plastic to make money by transforming the plastic, recycling it, and so on. and they pay people at the counter. So you have informal sector people that will spend their time collecting plastic bottles to bring it to those recyclers and get a bit of living. Zeloop is not designed for that category of people because they don't want to go through an app. They just want to get cash from off the counter when they bring their plastic. Simple as that. Nevertheless, it has a constraint also for the recycler because they need to have an infrastructure, counters where you can deposit the bottle.
Right.
And so they don't have a fine cover. I mean, it's a limited coverage. They have to wait that people litter so that informal sector collects the littering. With Zeloop, we want to prevent people littering because they understand that there's value in their disposal. So we acquire people to Zeloop, so we start to educate them and to motivate them to bring the bottles to point of collection so it can reach recyclers. And then we are recruiting at the moment what we call Zeloop aggregators, who are individuals that want to. They don't have time to do informal sector, to work every day. Because if you want to make a living, in bracket living, but at least to subsidize yourself by collecting plastic, it's a hard work and it's a daily work. But we have also a category of people who maybe don't earn so much with the work they do, and they will be happy to have an additional income by entering in the process of the plastic. So what the aggregators have to do for us, they have to install a bin that we brand Zeloop with a QR code so people can download the app and so on. And then we map that bin in the Zeloop network as a normal functioning, but this one we really highlight as Zeloop points. And then we onboard people to download the app and so on. We reward people to bring plastic, but this plastic goes to the aggregator. So the aggregator gets more plastic bottles without the painful effort to collect every single bottle. They can do, obviously, to top it up, but we try to make it effortless, and then they will earn some funds from the recyclers when they bring the plastic bottle. And then we also get a bit of commission from the recyclers that we can reinvest or keep a bit for us because, hey, we have to make also a living and develop all those things. Can't be done just from nowhere. And but we will also reinject use part of that money to provide prices and so on, run competition for the Zeloopian. So then you have a two-tier level, the Zeloopian that participate to competition and get the usual eco-reward benefits and the marketplace, and if they win the challenge with the prices that are part of the challenge. The aggregator gets more plastic and get an extra income thanks to that plastic. And the recycler is happy because he has now an army of people collecting with not much additional cost for him.
Absolutely. I'm sure this is all new to a lot of people who are listening to this right now. If they want to get more information from you, is there a way to contact you directly? Should they go to the website? How should they contact you?
I think the easiest way is to type on www.erics360.com, and here they will have all my contact details. They will have all the links about our social media and some videos and documents about Zeloop and so on, so they can document themselves. They can reach me, and yes, we finding new people who say, hey, I'm in a country where I have a network, and we have different profile for representative of Zeloop. What is important is that they're motivated and they know how to knock at doors and grow business and so on. And after we support them with the technology and so.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm looking at your like a top level view of what we're talking about today. It's really interesting. You're looking at impact investing. You got technology, you got blockchain, you got philanthropy, you got crowdfunding. Your project really covers it all, and I'm really impressed with what you're doing. Vicky, do you have any closing statements or questions you want to ask Eric before we close this out?
Well, we first talked to Eric about 6-7 months ago, and he was just, we were just getting to know him, and he's come so far. But you're so right, Ron, that what Eric has done is he's put together the whole package. You can pick up the plastic and the trash and whatever and make rewards and do, what you want with the blockchain and that. But you also have the ability to create a legacy, to have an impact and change the world, to do something positive for future generations. So you can invest in Zeloop and create a legacy for future generations and your family, but you can also just enjoy the pleasure of picking up trash, recycling it, and know that you've cleaned up the world. It's fabulous, Eric, what you've done. It's absolutely fabulous. I kudos to you for being so creative.
Thank you, and thanks to our new partner, for more than 6 months now in Argentina, for instance. We with Zeloop, we don't collect ourselves the plastic. The community is collecting and so on.
Right.
But here in Argentina, because we have, again, it depends on the profile of the representative. That representative has connection with municipalities and so, and he managed to sign some contracts where we getting the plastic, we are sorting the plastic, so we are hands-on on the plastic in that case, and we already collect between 10 tons to 19 tons. That's a record at the moment, and we are at the moment low.
That's
it's already huge. It's a lot, but it's actually low because, like, for the peak at 90 tons, we could have collected double that amount on that month, but we didn't have yet the infrastructure to do so. So we had to, to have the foot on the brake to slow down and so on. But it's great because
it's working.
That increased the impact that we do have with our network, with our movement of Zeloop, and that is important. Again, I was saying about utility. We have to walk the talk, and that's what we do.
Hey, Vicky, I was thinking we could probably make a fortune just collecting trash on Las Vegas Boulevard every day. See what Zeloop?
This would be true, especially on, special event days like, I don't know, maybe Formula One race. Think of all the trash that they threw on the ground.
Well, I'm in for that. That sounds great. So listen, Eric, thanks so much for being a guest on the show.
Thanks a lot again.
Really appreciate your time. Vicky, thanks for co-hosting this episode with me. And folks, you're listening to the Mappable USA podcast at MappableUSA.com. Just go to that website, scroll down, you'll see all our syndication sources. Pick the one you like best, subscribe, and you'll never miss another one of our episodes. And if you want to be a guest on the show like Eric was today, there's a guest tab there. Fill that out. We'll see what you can do about getting you on the show. And if you like what you heard, send us an email. Tell us you love us. Send it to info@MappableUSA.com. Or just leave a comment on whatever page you're listening to right now. But thanks for listening. Thanks for your support. We'll be at you next time with another Mappable USA podcast. Have a great week, everyone.